two of the most personal things that have happened to me in my life. I'm 13 years old. I told you I was part of a gang. My mom came here from Ireland, didn't know anybody. Nobody from Ireland ever came over here. She got married in the Mount Carmel Church in the Bronx. They filmed the Bronx Tale in this neighborhood. There was nobody in that church she recognized. Nobody from home. She had no friends. She had no family there. And her life were the five of us. Her life was the five of us. And she couldn't have been more upbeat, more optimistic, etc. And we had a family meeting, said Mom had to go in the hospital. Didn't think too much about it. Then I saw Dad. I remember it wasn't like we had a lot of privacy. 7 of us was 2 bedrooms. He was kneeling down, leaning on his bed, and he was crying. Now, my dad died 5 years ago in his 80s. I never saw my father cry. And I said, Dad, what's the matter? He said, I'm worried about Mommy. And we just talked about it for a minute or two, and he was trying to he was being too evasive, but I just thought, this has got to be serious. And I remember going to bed that night, not being able to sleep, and I remember thinking, all this woman cares about it, the 5 of us, and I'm the oldest, and she may never come home. And I never told her, because I was a badass. I never told her I loved her. I never did that. I remember not being able to sleep all night long. And I remember just like praying, you know, just make sure Mom comes home. I will never forget this. Just don't let this happen where I can't redeem myself on this. My mom did come home, and I made up for that. Fast forward, it's 9/11. I just get the job. I'm at Ameritrade a month. We're in Omaha. I have 3 kids that at the time all lived in Brooklyn. They still all live around here. 2 of them work for Merrill Lynch in our headquarters. That's where I worked for 17 years. I lived in Battery Park City. I worked at Merrill Lynch. I'm in Omaha, Nebraska. I'm getting dressed that morning, so I've got 2 kids that are working at Merrill Lynch. All 3 live in Brooklyn. I'm getting dressed. I see what's going on with the planes. I get a call, like later in the day, so we go in emergency mode. And remember, we're potentially going out of business anyway, so we got to make sure that our client assets are safe and our people are safe and all those things that are associated with this. And I get a call from my daughter, Kim, who didn't work in Merrill Lynch, said, Dad, I just talked to Kevin and Kara, and everything's okay. I said, thanks, Kim. Please keep me abreast of what's going on. She called me a little later, said, Merrill's evacuating the building. Everybody's going to Jersey City. She called me about an hour later. She said, Dad, I just got off the phone with Kara. She's a little stressed, but she's okay. She's in Jersey City. But the last time anybody saw Kevin, he was on his way over the site to see if he could help. Dad, have you heard from Kevin? I said, no, Kim. So that was probably the longest day of my life. So I'm going through that day, obviously watching what's going on, we're in emergency mode, recognizing that there's a distinct chance I've lost my son, who had just started at Merrill Lynch a year or so before that. And as difficult as that day was, the thing that gave me a little bit of peace was, and I think because of the spiritual soundness thing, and because of what happened, experience I had when I was 13 with my mom, there's nothing I would have told my son, nothing I would have told my son that I hadn't told him. And if I had lost him that day, as much of a tragedy as that would have been, I had told him everything that I would wanted him to know. How I felt about him, stand on your own 2 feet, the guts to do what you believe is right, all the things we just talked about, and I told him all that. So around 5 o'clock that day, 6 o'clock that day, I get a call and said, Dad, this is Kevin. He says, I'm a little stressed out. You know, just tell everybody I'm okay. And the reason why I share that story is because remember, we're talking about the power of love and the impact